into Fogerty Arena here in Blaine, Minnesota. We've got girls high school hockey on tap as rivals go at it in a top 20 battle in the state of Minnesota. It's the Blaine Bengals, ranked 16th in Class AA, hosting the third-ranked Centennial Spring Lake Park Cougars. Welcome into Fogerty Arena, everybody. Alongside Bill Hupp, I'm Matt Dean, and we got a good one on tap, I think, tonight, Bill. Centennial Spring Lake Park come in as a clear favorite in this matchup. They're 20 wins on the season, only 2 losses, flexing their muscles really all year, but a Blaine team that have been really stout defensively. It's a rivalry game, and this Blaine team are not going to be surprised by the different speed that Centennial play with.
No, not at all. 16th in the state is Blaine right now against the third-ranked Catbirds, and Blaine comes in, you know, they've got a 10-game unbeaten streak at one point this season, 14 wins on the season. They're going to know how good they are, and it all starts with Bella Brady on the blue line, the co-captain, the St. Kate's commit, 5'11". She really leads the line for them. She's going to lead them in minutes tonight, and she's going to be key if she hopes to shut down the leading scorer for this Centennial SLP team.
Yeah, looking to shut down a team that ranked 5th in the state in Class AA, and the St. Thomas commit Tegan Kuhlenkamp, one to watch in this potent and deep Cougar lineup.
She leads them in goals and assists. She's super speedy, playing with a ton of confidence. Top 10 scorer in the state, 1 point shy of a 50-point season. She's having a marvelous senior campaign, and she will be one of many threats that Blaine has to deal with tonight.
First meeting of the season between the Bengals and the Cougars. Centennial have won the last 2. We've got the rematch coming up next on North Metro. Back inside Fogerty Arena here in Blaine. Top 20 matchup in girls high school hockey, and 2 rivals battling it out here in the ice between the Cougars and the Bengals. Should be a good one tonight. A colossal cat clash on North Metro TV. That's an adjective I reserve only when all 3 North Metro TV schools are involved in the competition. That's the case tonight. The Centennial Spring Lake Park Co-op, ranked 3rd in the state, taking on this number 16 Blaine team, resurgent in the second year under head coach Kala Ottman at 14-7-2. Starting goaltending matchup, and both teams great defensively, Bill. Both teams have really good goalies, no surprise.
Yeah, Kaya Weiland, the transfer from Lakeville South, or Lakeville North, pardon me. Just a sophomore, but impressive numbers, and she is exactly what they needed to replace Caitlin Gross.
On the other side, Caden Larson, a junior, only listed at 5'3", but a .956 save percentage, 5 shutouts. The numbers speak for themselves for the junior on the other end for Blaine. Face-off win is controlled by the Bengals, and we are underway here at Fogerty Arena in Blaine. Already Kaya Weiland turning aside a spinning shot from Grayson Knowles from beyond the blue line. It's the top line tonight for the Bengals of Knowles, Costa, and Taylor Olson on the ice. Blaine are without their leading scorer, sophomore Coley Johnson. 7 goals, 19 assists in the year for 26 points. She would normally be in that top group, but Taylor Olson, the very capable senior, jumps up to join that group. And you've got skill in spades on this Centennial team. As such, tries to receive the bank pass there from Tegan Kuhlenkamp, leading scorer for the Centennial team with 49 points in the season, out there with the super sophomore Grace Lager, number 15. That's Lager chopping it forward, tried to get it in behind. Kayla Schaefer plays it out along the boards, and Blaine tries to break out. Annabelle Buccicconi holding things up on the blue line, slips it across, a switch to the backhand, save made there by Larson as she stones the attempt from the Centennial blue liner, stepping up from the point. Really good look for Centennial early, and great goaltending as we saw in the opening numbers. And this junior, Caden Larson, can really stand tall in goal despite that 5'3" listing. A nice move to the backhand there from number 13, Ella Perot, but couldn't stop it home.
Yeah, and the first goal is going to be really important because generally when Centennial goal, they don't go on to lose.
Here comes Cece Ledeen off the rush, dump the puck off to Maya Gunter, and she'll tip it in. A couple of easy paddles aside here is all that have really tested Kaya Weiland so far, the sophomore and starting netminder for the Cougars. Turnover here in the neutral zone. This will be swept forward here by Emmy Lou. Sophomore wearing the number 10 shirt for Blaine. Gets it in deep, but it's controlled once again here by Alexis Larson and the Cougars. Passes it out dangerously ahead of her own goal. Eric Maida skated it out and flung it forward, and that one tipped right back the other way here by Olive Hugel to dump it in deep for Blaine. Controlled by Katie Ball in the corner for Centennial. Ball with her head on a swivel, links up with Josie Kelsenberg, makes the move to the inside lane, broke up by the deft stick there of Kira Michael. Kira Michael with a breakup, and it's hung up here in the corner still for the Cougars. Drop back to Ball, she'll shoot, tipped off the stick of Michael and deflected out wide of the corner. We played 2.5 minutes here into the first. The shots favoring Centennial SLP 3-1. A drive off the pads of Larson, and she makes another save on a point-blank denial there of Ayla Specht, the junior with 3 goals, 8 points in the season. And Blaine able to clear the lines for a moment to relieve the pressure, but still Centennial Spring Lake Park control as they tip it in.
We have not had a stoppage yet, Matt, so far. It's been 3 minutes of up and down, back and forth action in the early going.
And we passed that 3 minutes played mark now as Schaefer picks it up, brings it around here to the left side half wall. Costa able to bounce that one forward here onto the stick of Grayson Knowles. Knowles wears the 12 jersey for Blaine. She's got 16 goals, 7 assists on the season, leading scorer. Here it's hung up on the right side half boards and carried forward by Kuhlenkamp. St. Thomas commit, drops it back to Eric Maida. Shot deflected back here to Kuhlenkamp. She'll wheel around here to the hash marks and drop it up high for Maida. She shoots, tipped wide, and picked up behind the cage here by Jolie Geisler. Jolie Geisler trying to move it along here, the freshman defenseman for Blaine. Schaefer stapling Kuhlenkamp up against the boards here in the corner. Kuhlenkamp throws it out front from that spin off the elbow, but well read by Grayson Knowles and plays it back out wide. Long shift here for the Blaine defenders as Centennial keep them pinned in. Kuhlenkamp will swing it around the wall, and into retrieve is number 8 Abby Costa for Blaine, but only able to advance it as far as the half wall where Eric Maida was waiting for it for Centennial. Bounces it forward. Now here's Such battling with Knowles along the wall. Knowles with a takeaway. Kuhlenkamp intercepts, still without a stoppage here. And 12.5 minutes left to play as this one's cleared on a bank pass out of there by Kayla Schaefer. There's our first whistle, an icing call on the Bengals, and a chance for the Blaine to catch a breather here, but an ozone faceoff coming up for CSLP.
And a chance for me to say something too. Good start for Centennial SLP as they went on the front foot, on the front skate, and good job by Larson to keep them at bay. Like I said, they're 14-0 when they've scored first this season. So they are definitely, that's their modus operandi. They are tough to beat, to come beat from behind. So we'll have to see who gets that first goal. Right now, it's favoring Centennial SLP.
Centennial Spring Lake Park uncharacteristically did not score first in their last game, which came Thursday at North Wright County, a section opponent. Bill, you saw that playoff meeting last year, I think. Thrown out front, dangerous chance here as the pads are closed off by Larson. Puck still loose, and finally a whistle as Larson's able to find that puck. Centennial SLP were down 1-0 with about a minute left in the third period. They scored with 19 seconds to go to tie it. Maddie Walter scored in the extra frame, and Centennial Spring Lake Park escaping with what would have been a key section win for the Riverhawks on the road.
I saw the Riverhawks early in the season against Maple Grove. They're a good team. They lost 3-1 in that game with an empty netter. But yeah, they're definitely a solid opponent. This is a deep section, no doubt.
Perot with a shot, gloved and knocked down here by Larson. The junior will swallow up any thought of a rebound chance there for Blaine. 11:27 to go here, first period. A lot of zone time for the Cougars, but Blaine, they're stout defensively, doing a nice job of mostly keeping it to the outside. Perot, a shot from top of the circle. That's well within Larson's range if she can see it.
Yeah, Cougars need traffic in front.
Bucciaconi throws it off, and it's banked into the open net off the backside. Ayla Specht, number 2, taps it in for Centennial Spring Lake Park, and the Cougars have the early lead here at Fogerty.
4th goal of the season for the junior winger. And what did I just talk about? The net front presence. Specht gets to the front and then kind of just has a sharp angle, somehow sneaks it by Larson, top shelf. Larson goes down and isn't able to get to her near post in time. A nice shot. And again, there's that dreaded first goal scored by the Cougars.
And Annabelle Bucciaconi is going to get the primary assist. That will be the 4th consecutive game of the point for the freshman defenseman. And now 9 helpers, 16 points in the season for Bucciaconi, setting up Specht, the junior, as Bill said, with her 4th of the year. Here comes the Cougars off the rush, ripped at by Lillian Renslow and kicked off the skate of one of the Bengals. Taylor Olson got out in front of it and now tries to scoot it out of the zone here for Blaine.
Kuhlenkamp is just everywhere. And when you watch a Grace Lager and a Keegan Kuhlenkamp, you can just see a different level in skill and speed and hockey IQ that these two players have. And there's a reason they're both going to be playing Division I hockey.
Yeah, Kuhlenkamp, a senior, already committed to St. Thomas, and Grace Lager, a sophomore, unbelievably in her 4th varsity season already. She is well on pace to become the 3rd ever Centennial SLP player to 200 career points. She's going to do it in 6 years.
Yeah, potential Miss Hockey candidate as well eventually. Just a freshman right now.
And Such will lob that one forward to Kuhlenkamp to try to dig it out. Such is that 3rd piece of that super top line for the Cougars. Such 21 goals on the season, 13 assists, not a bad 3rd piece. We just called her here. Costa shot it off the side of the net. It kicked off the pad there of Weiland, who turned it aside, feathered back out front. Weiland will cover after the centering feed from Aubrey Caven, the sophomore for Blaine. 9:29 to go. It is 1-0 Cougars on an Ayla Specht goal, assisted by Annabelle Bucciaconi. That came with 11:20 remaining in the period.
Well, it's fundamental hockey, but again, Blaine needs bodies in front. They need to crash the crease and look to score any way they can to try to beat an excellent goaltender in Weiland.
Alexis Larson sprays it out wide, tipped off the stick of Perreault into the Blaine bench. Ella Perreault at that last touch, the junior, a transfer to Centennial SLP from Chisago Lakes, where Perreault scored 20 or more goals and had 35 or more points in each of her first 2 years of high school hockey as a freshman and sophomore with the Wildcats, and that is a second liner on this Centennial Spring Lake Park team. Tell me about their depth. That one back off the draw by Maddie Walter. It'll be retrieved here in behind the cage by Annabelle Bucciaconi. She had the assist, scoring in her 4th consecutive game to help open up the scoring for CSLP. That was tipped, so icing waved off as it's retrieved by Jolie Geisler. And played back out here by Blaine. Retrieved by CC Ledeen. She'll just fire that one forward to get it in behind for a line change. Staying on in the forecheck was Abby Costa. Good job by Bucciaconi to skate around the pressure and then finds the winger up high. That's Perreault. Drops it off. And a shot zipped wide there off the stick of Alexis Larson. Renslow will step up and carry it to the corner here for Centennial. Larson tries to pick it out. It was plucked off the wall and fired forward by Bella Slauson. Gets it onto the stick of Emmy Lou. Backhander paddled aside there by Weiland. Good pressure on her from the Centennial defense, and Lou, the sophomore, not really able to get the full steam on that backhanded shot.
Excellent job by Katie Ball, hopping off the bench and immediately back skating and defending that play well to prevent the breakaway.
Bella Brady tried to tip it off the stick there of Olson. She'll deliver it to the blue line, where there's the aforementioned Katie Ball. Floating one forward for Renslow. She'll carry it in behind her back here to Specht, the goal scorer for Centennial. Specht gets bodied off here by Grayson Knowles. physical senior captain here for the Bengals. This is a Blaine team with good size, a lot of power forwards. Here's Olsen, a shot. That one was going wide, tipped aside a little further there by Weiland with the stick.
The size negated a little bit in girls hockey without checking, but still helpful to, you know, reach to those pucks and get to those 50-50 pucks as it's iced here.
7:28 left to go. Had a chance to talk with Calla Ottman, the second-year head coach, a little bit, and one of the keys here as we take a look at, I mean, all these winning trends. Centennial, you don't want to go down early to the third-ranked team in the state. The numbers eye-popping when they take the lead, Bill.
Yeah, I said 14-0 when scoring first. It's when leading after the first period, but 16-0 when scoring first. So even more evidence that they are that much more difficult when they get out ahead and grab the momentum.
And still pretty good when they don't as well, too. We mentioned a rare situation for Centennial where they were down 1-0 as late as 30 seconds left to go in regulation last Thursday in their road win at North Wright County. Here's a low drive, zipped off the stick of Brooke Euland, kicked aside there by Larson in behind her own goal.
That would have been a massive win in section play for North Wright County, but they just could not hang on.
Another drive by Euland, kicked aside to the corner. Picked up, thrown out front. Dangerous pass there from Tegan Kuhlenkamp, but well read by Bella Brady. The senior defenseman, Lager, got it just off the hash marks and ripped it wide. Our first real look at goal for Grace Lager, the super sophomore, and missed the target. Drops back to Maida. There's Lager throwing it out in front. A tip by Such. Kicked aside there with a pad save by Larson. Kuhlenkamp will try again, feeding it along to Lager. Lager tried to re-find Kuhlenkamp in the slot. Deflected out with a defensive stick by the Bengals. A drive in by Euland. Swallowed up there from the junior netminder Larson. Stops the clock with 6:11 to go in a 1-0 game.
Such beautiful interplay between Lager and Kuhlenkamp. Lager on the forecheck forces the turnover, and then a little give and go with Kuhlenkamp set up her first real opportunity from the right circle of the game.
CC Ledeen lost the draw to Perot, the Chisago Lakes transfer. And wheeling with it is Larson. Just held it in the zone, they'll say, to avoid the offside. Drop back here to Renslow. She'll shoot it. Nice job to tip it out front by Perot. Just missed wide. Batted back behind the goal where Brady retrieves for Blaine. Nice pass off the wall by Gunter. Broken up here by CSLP. Good forecheck pressure from Alexis Larson. Larson will ring it in around the wall here to the near side. Bucciacone pinching from the D spot. Carves it back in. Brady tries to waffle that out in the backhander. Held in and dumped back in behind by Melanie Reff. Staying in possession with the Cougars, it's Maddie Walter. Walter shovels it back out to the point. A low drive by Reff. That deflects wide and out of play. And will stop the clock with 5:18 left to go. A glove save, in fact, by Caden Larson to stop up play for the moment.
Yeah, great job. Just throwing it on the net from the point. Couple Perot in front, kind of battling. Another key for Blaine tonight, Matt, is going to be stay out of the box, because Centennial SLP is 30% on the power play. You do not want to give them the extra attacker if you don't have to.
And Blaine's penalty kill number is pretty good, but I think they don't want to play with the fire of all that talent that Centennial Spring Lake Park has and give them the skater advantage. There's a low drive by Ball. Rebounds there. Trying to lash it toward the back of goal was Lillian Renslow out front for Centennial Spring Lake Park. Here's Ball. Dishes off to her D partner Euland. Gets it down low. They try to go low to high with Speck. Threw it off the skates of Lou. Speck stayed with it and keeps the play alive here for Centennial. This is Specht in the high slot. Switches backhand. Specht driving wide. Tries to drop it up top to Ball. Still playing keep away are the Cougars as Ball's pass is tipped off the stick of Michael into the corner. 4.5 minutes left to go here in the first. No penalties. Really only a handful of stoppages, including one for the Ayla Specht goal. Specht is muscled off the puck there by Kira Michael. And now here come the Bengals trying to get it going on the rush. Lou and Slauson gave it up there. The turnover forced by Josie Kelsenberg. Specht drops it for Ball. Ball looking to shoot. Tipped off the paddle there on a reach by Caden Larson. Deflected behind and out of play.